Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. You made it to day 5 of the challenge. And lucky for you, it is a restful practice, and the entire session is completely on your back. So let's get started. Make your way onto your back, set up a comfortable position. So, some people prefer to have their legs out and their arms by their sides, but that can give a lot of tension to the low back. So, I'd like to offer constructive rest as another option. So, you can bend your knees, bring your feet a little bit wider than your hips, let the knees come in to touch. In this shape, maybe you want to rest your hands on your belly. You might also just rest them by your sides, whatever feels comfortable and natural. Once you settle into that comfortable supine position, go ahead and close the eyes. Starting with a few natural breaths, don't have to do anything special here. Just letting the breath flow in and out freely. Take one more breath in through the nose. The breath out through the nose. At the end of that exhale, you can start to find some gentle movements. If you happen to be in constructive rest, maybe that means you windshield wiper the knees side to side, get a little spinal twist, little stretch for the outer hip. Maybe you find a full body stretch. You could extend the legs out long, reach the arms overhead, point the toes. You could wiggle the hips a little bit side to side. Eventually, we'll all meet by hugging the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. You might even rock side to side, massage the spine just a little bit. And then letting the feet come back to the mat. Make sure the feet are about hips width distance, toes face forward. We'll find 3 gentle bridge postures. So just warming up the spine a little bit. Press the feet down, press the palms down. Use the inhale, lift the hips. Again, not a super deep back bend, just a warm up back bend. See how things are feeling in the spine today. As you exhale, you can slowly start to lower everything back to the mat. Do that a couple times. Move with your breath. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the hips. Exhale, low down, super slow with control. Last one, use the inhale, lift the hips as high as they will comfortably go. Again, not too much effort. And then slowly lower down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Option to add in some arm variations here. So you might plant the triceps down and the elbows press down and the palms might face each other. You might do this as you lift the hips. You might even start to, as you lift the hips, reach the arms overhead. So your option, your variation here. Exhale, lower the hips. Maybe the arms come back by your sides. Do that one more time. Inhale, lift the hips. Find that arm variation if you want to. Exhale, lower everything down. Good. Keep the feet planted, but extend the right leg up towards the sky. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Bring your right hand to your right thigh. Find a figure 4 stretch here. So for a lot of people, this is plenty. You're already feeling this in your right hip. If that's you, stay. Don't do anything else. If you don't feel a whole lot of sensation right now in the right hip, you can interlace the fingers behind that left thigh and start to bring that left knee towards the chest. But again, this is just an option. You don't have to take it. I just want you to feel that sensation in the right hip. Slowly start to back off of whichever hip stretch you found here. If the left foot lifted, bring it back to the mat, but keep the legs as they are. Keep that right leg crossed over the left thigh. You're going to rock towards your left side. The right foot might come down onto the mat. So we're finding a little twist. Once that foot lands, you might reset the shoulders. So the shoulders are on the mat and take your right arm to the right. If it feels okay on the head and neck, you might even look to the right. Doesn't have to be your most intense twist ever, just a gentle twist. Slowly start to bring everything back through center, and you can uncross the legs. Bring that right foot down, lift the left leg towards the sky, and then cross that left ankle over the right thigh this time. You know where you're headed. Find that hip stretch on the left side. So maybe you just stay right here. Left hand pressing into left thigh. There could already be plenty of sensation. Again, if there's not enough sensation here, you can interlace the fingers behind the right thigh and start to bring the knee towards the chest. But that's just an option. You don't have to take it. Take another breath. And then whichever variation of this hip stretch you found, start to back off. Bring the right foot down if it was lifted. Keep the legs crossed. Take yourself into that twist, twisting to your right. So the left foot lands down. Then you might reset the shoulders. This time, left arm to the left, maybe gaze to the left. You can close your eyes here if you want to. Starting to unwind. Bring everything back through center. You can uncross the legs, plant the left foot down. If one final posture, it's our inversion. If you happen to have a block handy, I highly recommend bringing a block right at the small of your back, right at the sacrum, and then letting the legs lift into the air. So finding an L shape. For a lot of people, the knees might be bent if this is a big stretch or a big ask of the hamstring. So knees could be bent here as well. If you don't happen to have a block, you can also find the same shape, bringing your hands under your hips, or hands could be off to the sides of the hips. You don't have to use them for support. Set up your variation. Legs lifted. Maybe there's support under the hips, maybe there's not. Again, option to close the eyes here if you want to. If the eyes were closed, you might flutter them open. Bend the knees. Start to slowly bring the feet towards the mat. Once the feet touch down, you can lift the hips. You can take your hands out from under or the block out from under. Take a few moments, do what you need to do here. Maybe you need to windshield wiper the knees side to side again. Maybe you need to hug the knees in towards the chest. Perhaps your body is asking for another full body stretch. Option to end class exactly as we started it. You can end lying down if you were in that Shavasana shape. You could end in constructive rest with the knees bent, feet planted, maybe hands on the belly. So find your shape for our last 3 breaths. You might even close the eyes. Take a nice slow inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Taking another breath in. And a breath out. Third and final breath together of this practice. Maybe bring your hands to heart center. Nice slow breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Bring your hands to your forehead center. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your practice. And thank you for joining me on this challenge. I hope to see you again on your mat soon.